you don't know where to begin, better ask Win.
Shane, good to see you. Let's get back to basics and talk through when is the right time to tap your 401k. A 401k, one of the most powerful retirement savings tools available, but if you take the money out too early, you could face penalties, wait too long, and hefty RMDs could push you into a higher tax bracket. So let's start with the basics, because for the most part, employees tend to save in tax-deferred 401ks. Why is that important?
Well, it's important. That word tax really matters, and it's tax deferred. So when that money comes out, it's all taxable to you. So that's a great growth tool. Perhaps you got some matching funds, and all of that money that you would have paid in tax was allowed to stay inside the account and grow and compound. But the IRS doesn't forget about that. They make up for it on the back end, and that's when it's taxed, when it comes out.
Right. And we'll talk more about that in a second. But let's talk about if you tap your 401k too early, before age 59 and a half. Can you explain what you're giving up if you do that?
Yes, 59 and a half is kind of a magic number out there. So if you choose to take money out prior to that age, you're going to have to pay the taxes, of course, on that distribution, but also an additional 10% early withdrawal penalty or fee gets applied to it as well. So if you were having to pay 30% in taxes plus a 10% early withdrawal penalty, your $1 turns into about 60 cents. And that's something we typically discourage anyone from doing because those penalties are pretty steep.
All right. So let's say now I've reached that magic age of 59 and a half. How are my withdrawals taxed then?
Well, then at that point, it comes out onto your ordinary income brackets. And this is kind of like a section I do in many of the classes I teach where we talk about what happens when money comes out of your 401k. It gets applied to your current tax bracket, whether you're single or joint. It's looked at just like ordinary income you earned from a job, for example.
Okay. And at some point, the government is going to require that we start taking that money out. Walk me through RMDs and when they start.
Yeah. So for so many years in your 401k, you had, or your IRA, you had discretion over that money, which means you had discretion over your income. When you turn 59 and a half, you can take it out if you want, you can let it continue to defer. But at a certain point, you lose that discretion. And all of a sudden, you have a forced withdrawal system that gets applied to that account. For most of us, that's going to happen between the ages of 73 or at the age of 75. And what that means is you now have a forced income, whether or not you want it. And that means you have a forced tax bill, whether or not you want it. And again, that income goes against your ordinary income tax brackets, and it's counted in your calculations for other things as well, like Social Security tax, Medicare IRMA penalties, capital gains tax, and of course, your ordinary income. And that's what really causes retirees such grief in retirement when they say, I don't know how I'm paying so much tax in retirement when I don't have a salary or an earned income. It's the RMDs and all these other hidden taxes that get triggered that you never really planned for.
Right. So like you just mentioned, you have to plan for this. So what strategies can we put in place now when it comes to tax efficient withdrawals from our 401k 10, 20, 30 years from now?
Well, I think the best thing that most retirees will want to focus on is diversifying their tax status between their different accounts and their income streams, and having tax-free dollars, taxable dollars, and pre-tax dollars all in a good, correct arrangement. Because if all of your money is coming from pre-tax, then it's all taxable and it's all going to trigger these sorts of penalties. Now, if we move this money from always taxable to never taxable, those tax-free dollars will go a lot further in retirement and it won't trigger some of these hidden taxes. And this is what we do when we do Roth conversions. We pay the tax up front, hopefully in a time when we have a tax valley or a low tax liability, and avoid those taxes later on when they might cause us more issues.
Yeah, and this is why those 401ks are ticking tax time bombs, right?
They sure are.
The tax man comes. So Shane, if somebody would like to start putting a plan together now so that they're not hit with this tax time bomb in retirement, what's the best way to reach you?
The best way to reach us is online or via phone. Our website here is winstonandcompanies.com, or call us 602-456-1928.
Great. Shane, thanks for your time today.
Thanks, Erin.
Got a plan for your retirement, 'cause you know it's just down the road. But if you don't know where to begin, better ask Win.